blues scale is chock full of flavor. And why is that? It's often said when you're playing over a blues form, the most basic blues form that we have, in the key of C, a C7 chord followed by an F7 chord, back to a C7 chord, then a G7, F7, C7. So that's the 1 chord, 4 chord, and 5 chord that we're looking at. Well, this blues scale, which in relation to a major scale is the 1, the flat 3, 4, flat 5, 5, flat 7, and of course the 1 again. It's often said that this blues scale works over all of the chords in the blues. So we don't need a separate blues scale for each chord. Why is that? Well, here we have the concept of tension and release at its pinnacle. You see, if we play a C7 chord, and over that we play the blues scale, well, we have the 1 of the chord, the flat 3 of the chord, the 4, the flat 5, the 5, the flat 7, and the 1. So, how many of these scale tones are actually tension? Well, we could say the flat 3 certainly provides us with tension. The 4 certainly does, often referred to as an avoid note. However, not when we're playing the blues. And here we have the flat 5. There's tension. Of course, we have some release here with the 5. And the flat 7, of course, is a member of the chord. Now, when we move to the 4 chord, let's do that. Here we have the 5, the flat 7, so no tension yet. The 1, no tension there either. The flat 9, then the 9, then the 4, then the 5 again. When it comes to the 5 chord, immediately we have the 4 followed by the flat 13, there's tension, the 7, the major 7. How often do we hear that the major 7 and the dominant 7th go well together? Not too often, right? But there's no argument when it comes to the blues scale. Why is that? Tension, release. Here we have the 1, the sharp 9, and finally the 4 again. So you see, when you're playing the blues scale, you're playing an array of tones that provide tension, release, tension, release. As we can see with that 5 chord, we have the most tension because there are really only 2 tones in this blues scale. The 7 itself and the 1 that provide release. And isn't it convenient that when we approach that 5 chord in measure 9 of the basic blues form, so we're actually at the climax of the head of a blues form, we have the most tension. during that climatic point of the blues form. So you see, it's really interesting that each member of this blues scale, in this case the C blues scale, provides a different function over each of the chords. For example, this one of the C7 becomes the 5 of the F7, which becomes the 4 of the G7. So this tension and release is something to certainly be appreciated. Isn't it interesting that when we play that 5 chord, if we were to simply do that out of context, we might say it's almost hard to listen to. However, in the context of the form, that tension is ever so tasteful. Resolve. So if you take your time and study a little bit how those tones of the blues scale line up with the chords that you're playing, you'll arrive at a better understanding of why this blues scale works so well. The interesting thing about it is we don't need to think about this while we're playing the blues scale. We can just appreciate that tension and release. Have fun with that blues scale.